Alright guys, you already know what time it is. It's that time of the week. I need to look at my budget, look at my pull list, and figure out what am I getting. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. Now if it's your first time here, I talk about comic books. I buy them, I read them, I review them like I just said. And this video, this is my weekly series called What Am I Getting? Where I go over my pull list, show you a bunch of covers, and tell you what I'm getting and why. We also talk about what may be on the chopping block and what's on the maybe list, the things I'm going to make a game day decision about when I get to the shop. Now, if you're new here, you should definitely hit the subscribe button and then tap that bell icon so that you're notified when we post new videos. Now, I am going to go ahead and get started because this is a heavy week, bro. So last week was a heavy week too. DC's in the middle of their Future State event, and those books are really heavy on the pull list. So I like to always start out with the book that I am most excited for, and that is The Next Batman #2. Now, The Next Batman, you guys saw my review, or you may not have seen it, but I'll put it in the YouTube card. But I did review The Next Batman #1. I really enjoyed it. I love The Next Batman story by John Ridley, but there were two backup stories, one featuring the Outsiders, specifically Katana and Duke Thomas, and then there was another story featuring the Arkham Knights. And they told a really interesting story altogether about what's going on in Gotham with the magistrate kind of reigning over. So in issue 2, we're going to get some more of that fallout, and we're going to hopefully understand a little bit more about the Fox family and what is driving Tim to be Batman and how did that all come about. I'm also excited to get into the backup stories on this one. By the way, I'm getting the cover A. It's already on the screen. But yeah, so in this issue, we also got a backup story featuring Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain, who are the Batgirls. And there's also a story with the Gotham City Sirens. So I really enjoyed the backups in or in the other story 2 weeks ago. So hopefully this issue has good backup stories as well. That one has a cover price of $7.99. And if that wasn't bad enough, there are two cardstock variant covers. One of those is by Doug Braithwaite, and that's the unmasked variant. That's the one I'm after. But I also pulled the A cover as well. And there's also another cover, a C cover, by Francisco Mattina. That one I like a lot too. But the one to go after is that Doug Braithwaite cover, because they're saying that's the first unmasked appearance of Tim Fox's Batman. Even though Ken Lashley did a variant for issue 1, I don't know why. I don't know why people do the things they do. I don't know why that's what's being considered the first one. Clearly there was one that came before. But anyway, check that out. That's what I'm most excited about this week. So, since we started off with DC Comics, let's continue down the list. Batman Catwoman #2. Now, I love the Clayman cover A, but there's also a Jim Lee cover B, and that's the one I'm going after. The Jim Lee cover, what does it for me is the Joker playing with a Robin action figure. Like, that's just dope. So I'm definitely going after that B cover, but you really can't go wrong. Even the C cover is really, really good. I think that's by Travis Karras. I believe that's how you say his name. But yeah, Batman Catwoman, I read issue 1 and I was honestly a little confused. I was gonna do a review of it, but kind of time slipped away from me. But yeah, I was not super sold on Batcat issue 1, but I'm gonna read issue 2, and if I don't like it, it's probably gonna end up on the chopping block. But you guys can tune in next week to see if it made the cut. So then the next book on the list is DCeased Dead Planet #7. I'm going after that A cover by David Finch. Actually, I'm not even sure if they have a cover B for that one. But that A cover by David Finch is great. DCeased has been great by Tom Taylor. I've really enjoyed it so far. I love Dead Planet. It's almost like, I mean, you could kind of consider it the DCeased future state, right? Because we got an all new Justice League, basically an all new Trinity, and seeing how they have been handling this, virus, the anti-life virus, is really cool. So I'm excited to see how that series wraps up. Tom Taylor can do no wrong in my eyes. So there we go. Oh, and that's got a cover price of $3.99. My bad. Phone was ringing. But yeah, that's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm excited about that one. So now let's continue with Future State. The next book on my list is Future State Nightwing #1. Dick Grayson is a really, really close second to me behind Damian Wayne as my favorite Robin. I love Dick Grayson as Nightwing. I love his action scenes. I love his fighting style. And I love that Dick is like Batman's best son, even though Damian is the actual son. So anyway, I don't know much about what the Future State storyline is going to be, but I had to pick up Nightwing to see what's going on. I'm just getting the cover A, and that one's got a cover price of $3.99. The next book on my list is Future State Superman Worlds of War. Now, this one's by Philip Kennedy Johnson, and this is another one where you really can't go wrong. I'm going to get the cover A, which has a cover price of $7.99, but the other variants are $1 more. And you really can't go wrong. All of those covers look really good, but chances are when I get to my shop, the other two covers are going to be gone anyway if they're anything like the other Future State books. So I'm picking up that cover A, and it's got a pretty hefty cover price also of $7.99. So if I get all of my DC comics and I only stick to one Batman cover, which chances are I won't, that's just going to be a $30 pull for the DC comics. If I get all the Future State Next Batman covers that I'm looking at, we're looking at $47 right there. Sheesh, that's heavy. That's just for DC. But anyway, let's move on to Marvel Comics because it's a much lighter week for Marvel. Both of my books are part of the Dawn of X rollout. So I got XForce #16. I'm just getting the cover A. And with XForce, with all the X-Men titles, I'm honestly really behind because the Ten of Swords event really wiped me out. It had me picking up so many issues that I wouldn't normally pick up, and I am just behind. I have not read the Ten of Swords event. I've been holding off on reading my X titles in case there's something that's spoiled in them. But maybe I'll take my MLK day and just catch up on my reading so that I can actually be up to date on what's going on in the X-Men universe on Krakoa. So I got X-Force #16. I'm just getting the A cover. I don't do the Marvel vs. Aliens variants. And then we got Cable #7. Like I said, the last issue of Cable that I read was #4. And I really liked it, but it was clearly just leading up to the Ten of Swords event. So I gotta read Ten of Swords before I continue with these others. But Cable was on my pull. I enjoyed it before. I think I'll continue to enjoy it. And Cable #7's got a cover price of just $3.99. And that's it for my Marvel pull. I stopped with the King in Black because I just knew I was never going to read it. So King in Black #3 is out this week, and some people are saying it's a must buy. Most people are saying it's a must buy. I'm not buying it though. So there we go. My Marvel pull this week is just $8. I can live with that. And I need that after the DC pull being so heavy. But this indie pull list just blows it all out of the water. So let's go ahead and get started. So on the indie list, I've got from Boom Studios. No, not Boom. This is IDW. I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 113. Now I'm a few issues behind on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. I've read up through 110, and I've really enjoyed it. You've got this mutant storyline, and they're basically protesting for equal treatment and trying to get a law passed so that mutants are treated just like the humans are. And so you got some interesting things going on with the mayor. He had planted some Mausers way back, and chances are that storyline has been resolved and we're on to something else. But anyway, I was enjoying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until I was picking up X of Swords and got super far behind on my entire pull list. But yeah, so that cover A for issue 113 looks really good. I always go for the Kevin Eastman cover Bs though, just because, you know, Kevin Eastman is the originator. I just love his art style. So if they've got that cover B at the shop, I'm definitely going to grab it. And that's got a cover price of just $3.99. Now, sticking with the Ninja Turtles theme, IDW has been putting out these best of kind of anthology books. So this week, we've got TMNT, The Best of Leonardo. It's a one-shot. And so I got to complete the set. I already got Donatello and Raphael, so I'm definitely getting Leonardo, and then Michelangelo, I'm sure, is coming next month. But these are just anthology stories collecting some of the greatest moments for these individual characters in comics. And because I hadn't been picking up Ninja Turtles until issue 101, I'm super excited to have this and kind of read back on the history of these characters, because I love them in other media, but comics are fun too. So now that we're done with IDW, we can move on to Boom Studios. Now, you guys already know that Mighty Morphin was on the chopping block last week. Spoiler alert, I still picked it up anyway. There's something about having a book in your box that just makes you feel really bad if you're like, hey, I want to put this back. So I picked up everything on my list last week. And what's great about Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers is that their covers connect. So if I got the Mighty Morphin number 3, then I have to get the Power Rangers number 3. That's a terrible reason to buy a book, but I'm doing it. So Power Rangers number 3's got a cover price of $3.99. Now, from Image, we got 2 books from Image this week. The first is Killadelphia number 12. Now, Killadelphia, I've only read 1 issue of. I actually got Killadelphia number 1 in a mystery box from Mainstream Comics. Shout out to them. We've got a very special announcement coming up from Mainstream Comics on Wednesday, so you should stay tuned. But anyway, I ordered the Mainstream mystery box a few months ago, and Killadelphia number 1 was there, and I read it and really enjoyed it. And what's funny is it's not a series that I would have given a chance before. I know I've seen that book in the shops and just passed over it. But it's a really cool series, basically about vampires in Philadelphia. And it's just, I really enjoyed issue 1. So I went on an eBay hunt and an LCS hunt. So yeah, I basically went everywhere that I could. Once I had that issue 1 and I read it and enjoyed it, I went and found issues 2 through 10 wherever I could, and I added it to my pull list at issue 11. So I still got some catching up to do before I can really say that I love the series, but issue 1 hooked me that much. So Killadelphia number 12, that's out from Image this week, and it's got a cover price of $4.99. It's by Rodney Barnes with artwork by Jason Sean Alexander. Now, the last book on my pull list this week, finally, is The Walking Dead Deluxe, number 7. You guys already know what I'm going to say. I have not read a single issue of The Walking Dead Deluxe, but I really love DCeased. I've checked out Marvel Zombies. Both of those are by Robert Kirkman. Marvel Zombies is by Robert Kirkman. DCeased is kind of inspired by this whole zombie craze that Robert Kirkman started. But it all started with The Walking Dead. And so now that they're releasing these deluxe editions or these deluxe issues, you get a nice kind of cardstock cover. You get the issues colored for the first time. They're just a treat. So I'm like, if I'm going to read the books, this is the format I'm going to read them in. So I'm on issue 7. Haven't read a single one, but issue 7's out this week. I'm getting the cover A by David Finch, because man, that guy can draw. So that one's got a cover price of $3.99, and it's out this week from Image and Skybound. So that's my pull list. A very heavy pull list. The indie books this week are going to cost me $23 before my subscriber discount. So if I get all the books on my list so far, we're looking at a pull list or a price of $108. Now that's without tax and that's without my subscriber discount, but that's bad enough. Now let's take a look at the maybe list. So my maybe list includes Rorschach number 4 by Tom King, art by Jorge Fornes. Listen, I haven't been reading Rorschach. I got issue 1 and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna drop this from my pull list. Except DC keeps coming out with these amazing variant covers for this Rorschach series. Last issue was by Jock, and I really love that cover. This issue has a cover B by Travis Karras, the same one who did one of the covers for Batman Catwoman, and that cover B is excellent. I really like it. So that's the only reason this book is even close to my pull list, because the covers are just phenomenal. So that one's got a cover price of $4.99, and that's on the maybe list. If they have it in the shop, I'll probably grab it. And the next thing that's on my maybe list is a brand new #1 from Boom Studios, I believe. And this is Abbott #1. It's a 5-issue miniseries, Abbott 1973. I don't know much about the series. I love that cover, but they're saying that it's good for fans of Something is Killing the Children. I missed the Something is Killing the Children boat. I did pick up a trade paperback, but I didn't read it yet. But everyone is ranting and raving about Something's Killing the Children, so I'm like, well, if this is good for fans of that, then I want to be one of the first ones to grab this series. So Abbott #1 from Boom Studios, it has a cover price of $3.99, and that's on my maybe list. But I'll be honest, usually the maybe list is something that I incorporate if I go under budget. That's not happening this week. So if I get every single book that's on my pull list and I get the maybes, I'm looking at a whopping $118 on my pull list for this week. That is insane. That's a very heavy week for me. Like I said, that's like double my comics budget. So the only way that's going to happen, my only saving grace, is the fact that my birthday is this Friday, the 22nd. I'll be 30. And so hopefully I get some birthday cash in and I can kind of offset the costs. So I'm going to pull these books. I'm going to go to the shop on Wednesday and grab my normal stuff. And then we'll see how things go. I'll leave it in my box. And if we get some more funds in on Friday, then I'll pick up the rest. That's how that's going to go. So yeah, a heavy week, but I deserve it. I'm going to treat myself if I can. So that's what's on my pull list this week. I want to know what's on your pull list. Is there something that I didn't mention here that you feel like is just blasphemy for me to not have on my list? Or is there something that I've got on my list that you're like, dude, just save your money. Don't buy that. I probably need that intervention at this point. So I want to know from you, what's on your pull list? What are you excited about? What covers did I show that look really interesting to you? And what are you like, nah, I'm good on that? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps to spread the channel. As of this recording, we just hit 500 subscribers on this channel today. So that's super exciting. Super exciting. So thank you so much for your support. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here and hit that bell icon so that you're notified when I post new videos. It happens more often than you think. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you saw something you liked. And if not, that's cool. You can buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy. And be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.